As a kid who grew up in Southeast Asia, where Japan had tremendously ruined our lives in the past through imperialism, as far as being equal or worse than hundreds of years under the Dutch, people ask me, why are you still watching and enjoying these cartoons? Do I not remember what they did to my homeland? Which is honestly a retarded question, but you are here anyway, and this channel's here so you don't have to worry about it yourself, because the fact is, people still, to these days, play this as their victim cards. So, for those of you who slept during history class or just thought that Asia consists only Japan, China, and Korea, we exist in the southeastern part of Asia where Japan, but not this Japan, but the Imperial Japan, which flag seems to invoke generational trauma to some people comparable to their World War II allies, the Nazi swastika, had done unspeakable war crimes on our own soil. But yes, our pretty cute Moe beloved nation was brutal and friend of mustache guy before. And considering this, I wouldn't say people are dumb if they start thinking, wait, why are we here as if nothing happened? Are we just going to forget what our ancestors suffered from, stolen from them? So in short, the very first thing out of my mouth would be, what of it? If the saying separate the art from the artist isn't true, then it only hits harder when approaching such a topic, as you are missing a lot by disregarding a piece of work just cause the owner might be a piece of garbage. But even worse, cause I'm sure all your efforts hating these shows for what they did is they're all history. And none of them did what you might think they're accountable for, as in fact, those who you should truly be blaming are likely all bones and ashes by now. But it doesn't feel right nor settled yet, and yes, the reparation money will never be enough to redeem years of agony while we're drowning ourselves in someone else's culture. Not to mention that some are like, we've done evil things before? So God forbid call me insane, as those statements are all cap when we allow ourselves a chance of analytical thinking. By which anime at the end of the day is clearly a work irrelevant to its creators when it comes to what they do outside of the creative production, separated so long as they're not inspired nor based upon, say, disgusting values they embody. Apothecary Diaries didn't hold its anime production when the manga artist was convicted of tax evasions. A producer arrest didn't change the fact that your name is a generational success for the anime industry, and imagine missing them out at this point just because you think they are made by hateful colonialists. But above all that, something I genuinely want you to consider is to carry on with the exact same approach, not only with anime or something you adore, but also holistically in the context of life. I do not know you. We might be the same that we are born in a developing country, privileged or not, yet that wouldn't inherently set the course of your destiny, which sadly seems to be the general consensus of certain people today, where this flawed logic is all they throw at you, alongside how much of a quote-unquote suffering their lives are now. Yes, this world is never a fair place, but instead of sticking ourselves in a victimized mentality where blaming and grudgingly condemning who were once quote-unquote enemies makes you feel better without any effort to achieve something serving as a turning point in life, take a step back and think of what we could possibly do to change it. And being grateful for having been born in an era where you don't have to be slaved or devalued thanks to human rights is surely the least we can do. Whether you believe it's God's will, a certain deity, a stone, tree, whatever the heck you want to put your faith in, as this isn't even a religious thing, honestly. And so, no, having respect and admiration towards an artistic creation doesn't equal subverting the burning nationalism and love I have. Obviously, we won't and never forget history, which thank God I said this now before some people come and say, whoa, what about all the things they did in the past? As I believe we indeed learn from it to not repeat it. And along with the capability to not just view a tragedy through a simplistic fiction like good and evil circumstance, but also analyze the necessary variables of history objectively, only then will we be able to move forward, aware of what is right and wrong.